So in part two, we talked about the big shift. Modernism wasn't really a look, it was a new starting point. Architecture stopped copying history and started responding to conditions. Now in part three, I want to zoom in on one person, someone who helped set that shift in motion before Bauhaus, before the 1920s wave really exploded. He was Louis Sullivan. And I want to be clear right away, Sullivan didn't remove ornament. He wasn't trying to make buildings plain. What he rejected wasn't ornament, it was imitation. He rejected the habit of taking a new building type and dressing it in an old costume. Let's set the scene. Late 1800s, Chicago, the city is growing fast, business is booming, and suddenly a new building type is emerging, the tall office building. Think about it, this is important. People had built temples, churches, palaces. But what about an office tower? People were able to make steel frames and elevators that made height practical. But the big question was, what should a skyscraper look like? A lot of architects tried to answer that by looking backward. They borrowed from classical architecture. They decorated tall buildings like they were stone monuments. Sullivan looked at that and basically said, that doesn't make sense because this building is not a temple, it's an office machine. It has repetitive floors, a structural frame, a commercial ground level, a top where systems and structure finish the building. So instead of starting with a historical style, he started with a simple discipline. What is this building doing? How is it working? What is it made of? And then, only then, he let the form come out of that. That's where his famous line comes in, form follows function. Now today, that phrase is everywhere. It's almost like a boring slogan. But the real meaning goes deeper. He wasn't saying, make it plain. He was saying, stop pretending, stop decorating the problem, and start by understanding the building. And here's what makes Sullivan really interesting. He didn't remove ornament, he relocated it. He used ornament where it made sense, especially at the street level, because that's where people touch the building. That's where the public meets the architecture. So you'll see this pattern in his work. The base is expressive, almost welcoming. The tower is disciplined and repetitive, like offices really are. And the top resolves the building, like a clear ending. That is not minimalism, that is logic with intention. That is a building organized from reality. He shows the difference between designing a look and designing from understanding. Sullivan didn't wake up and say, I want to invent a new style. He looked at new conditions, steel frames, commerce, vertical living, and he asked, what kind of architecture makes sense here? That's the mindset I keep coming back to. And that is where design beyond form begins.